So I'm thinking about people right now, humanity. And there's a number of things I'm thinking about, but one of the things is how humanity simply isn't possible. There doesn't seem to be a way it could be possible for humanity to exist when you look at how humanity exists now, where a child is born to two parents and then the child is raised and fed and watered, etc. And then the child goes on at some point, grows into adulthood, and then meets a child of the opposite sex, and then the process begins again. But I have thought about this a fair bit, and it does seem to me that it simply isn't possible for humanity to exist. There doesn't seem to be a way that all of the different elements that are needed to raise a child into an adult, the elements don't seem to be in place. There doesn't seem to be a way that all of the things that are needed could exist. And it's any number of things. I mean, it starts from basic oxygen. So where did the oxygen come from? And then there's food and water, of course. And then there's housing and a means of keeping safe from the elements, keeping warm, keeping dry. And then there are so many questions like, where did the elements come from? Where did rain come from? Where did the earth itself come from? Where did the sun come from? It seems like the creation of humanity just leads to endless questions, none of which can be answered. And it is deeply frustrating that we can never know how life started. We just simply can't. Well, I say we can never know. It is possible, I suppose, that some form of time travel might be invented one day. It doesn't seem likely, but I'm not in a position to say never. I'm not in a position to say that we couldn't develop time travel. There are so many things that we have developed that would have been inconceivable some time ago, and yet we're used to them now. I mean, the range of things is pretty much impossible to quantify. But the way we live now, compared to 200 years ago, for example, it's just absolutely inconceivable for us to live the way we do now. 200, 500 years ago, there's no way that how we live now could be imagined. So I'm thinking that 200 years from now, 500 years from now, humanity, if it still remains in existence, humanity would be so different from the way it is now. It would be as different from how we are now as we are different to civilization 500 years ago, for example. So I'm thinking a lot about two things mainly. The first thing is how humanity began. How did it begin? Because the things that need to be in place for humans to live. It doesn't seem possible for all of the elements to be in place. Food, water, gravity, housing, shelter, whatever. And then, of course, you need to have a man and a woman to create a child. And then the child has to be raised. And there needs to be another man and woman having a child. And that child has to be raised. And then the children need to get together as adults. And then start the process again. So clearly it seems very strange. It seems impossible, basically, for humanity to have begun. There doesn't seem to be a way it could be true. Yet here we are. So it did happen somehow. Of course, we're not in a position to know how it happened. And I was tempted to say we're never going to know how it started. But I have to withdraw that because it is possible that we could develop time travel one day. Or maybe just a means of seeing into the past rather than traveling there. It is so strange to have a situation where I cannot know what's possible. The future is impossible to... what's the word? It's not possible to define how the future will unfold. Any number of things could happen. Any number of discoveries could be made. Development of technology could advance in so many ways, and so much could be achieved. It is so strange to wonder how the future might be. I'm thinking once again of 300 years ago, let's say. What would they have thought about the future? How would they see things developing? Could someone 300 years ago possibly conceive of a television or radio? Or a telescope? Or even something basic like carpets or chairs? There's so many things, so many ways as well that we could develop, so many inventions that could happen. The world could be so utterly different from how it is today. I'm just raising the camera so you're not just getting a view of my nostrils. I don't mean to be rude. So it is so mysterious how the future might unfold. And the things we could have and the way in which we might develop. It is all such a mystery. So I found myself wondering very much how we might develop and in what ways we might grow and change, and how we might see the world differently. But I'm still drawn to the beginning of things. I'm still wondering how things could have begun, because it does seem basically impossible for humanity to exist. For the simple reason that a child that's born needs to have parents, and so where did the parents come from? And even taking a different perspective and thinking that humans were at one stage a different form, and then we gradually mutated into Homo sapiens. Even that seems very strange. A main point for me that seems strange is that a child needs a lot of care in order to develop safely. How could the parents have known what to do and how to tutor the child properly, how to teach the child and keep the child safe and warm? How did women learn to breastfeed? It all seems basically inconceivable. And as I say, it's impossible, yet here we are. Will we ever find the answers? It is such a mystery, and it's so annoying to not know how we could be here, to not understand how it could be possible. And obviously, we've changed a lot from how we were 300 years ago, 500 years ago. So if we haven't destroyed ourselves, how will we be in 500 years' time? They would look back on us the same way we look back on humans 500 years ago. Cavemen, I suppose. They would regard us as in a similar way. Will we be seen as cave people? It's amazing to wonder how we might develop, how life might change.